Hi, my name is Cynthia Baroody, and I'm here to read to you today The Great Fuzz Frenzy. It's one of my favorite books. If people ask me what my favorite book is, I always tell them it's the book I'm reading. The Great Fuzz Frenzy. It's written by Janet Stevens and Susan Stevens Crummell. It's illustrated by Janet Stevens. No, Violet. Woof. Violet, where's the ball? Down it went. Boink, boink. Run for your lives, thump, thump. Watch out below, rumble, rumble, rumble. Help, help, help. Plunk. There it sat, perfectly still. The prairie dogs waited, perfectly still. Slowly, they crept out, inch by inch, dog by dog. What is it? A thing. A good thing or a bad thing? A round thing. A strange thing. A scary thing. What should we do? Don't touch it. Is it alive? Shh. Stand back, boomed a voice. You act like gutless groundhogs, afraid of your own shadows. Oh no, it's Big Bark. Big Mouth is more like it. He's the meanest dog around. I thought he left town. Well, I'm back, growled Big Bark. So out of my way. Let me have a look. But before anyone could move, little Pipsqueak raced past Big Bark, reached out and poked the big round thing. No! The crowd yelled. It's Fuzzy, said Pip. Ooh, the crowd gasped. A tiny piece of fuzz was caught in Pip's claw. She looked at it, turned it, sniffed it. She put it on her head. Look at me! Ah, the crowd sighed. Quit hamming it up, you half-pint hamster, snarled Big Bark. I'm in charge. But those prairie dogs didn't listen. They had to have fuzz. I like it. Me too. I want some, do you? Oh yes, so do I, so do we, so do they. Big Bark, move over, get out of the way. They charged past him and they grabbed at the fuzz. The prairie dog pulled it, puffed it, stretched it, fluffed it, tugged it, twirled it, spiked it, swirled it. They fuzzed their ears, their heads, their noses. They fuzzed their feet, their tails, their toeses. Big Bark was beside himself. Listen to me, you ridiculous rodents. Stop this fuzzy foolishness. But those prairie dogs didn't listen. They were busy being hot dogs, silly dogs, corny dogs and frilly dogs, top dogs, funny dogs, super dogs, bunny dogs. You're all nuts, you squirrely fuzzy freaks, yelled Big Bark, storming off. News of the fuzz spread from hole to hole, burrow to burrow, town to town. Soon prairie dogs from everywhere were coming to see the fuzz, that fuzz. They came, they saw, they picked. They twisted it, they braided it, danced and paraded it. It was a fuzz frenzy, a fuzz fiesta, a fuzz fandangle. The whole prairie was abuzz about fuzz. They poked and pruned and pulled and pinched. They pinched and pulled and pruned and picked. That big round thing was fuzzless, naked as a plucked chicken. Fuzz ran out. That's what happens to tennis balls. Some prairie dogs got a lot of fuzz, some got a little, some got no fuzz at all, and they were mad. Give me that fuzz. Why? Because it's my fuzz. Well, it was. Get that fuzz. Get that fuzz. Pulling, grabbing, stripping, nabbing, picking, jabbing. It was a war. It was a war between the fuzzes and the fuzz knots. Their peaceful town was a battleground. It was a fuzz fight, a fuzz feud, a fuzz fiasco. I started this, moaned Pipsqueak. I have to do something. Everyone stop fighting. But those prairie dogs didn't listen. The battle raged on, friend against friend, cousin against cousin, dog against dog, until no one was left standing. They were pooped, fuzzled out, fast asleep. Hours later, the prairie dogs began to stir. Where's the fuzz? I don't know. Where did it go? Someone has stolen our fuzz, cried Pipsqueak. Who did? He did, she did, you did. No one knows who did. I did, barked a voice from above. I stole the fuzz. The prairie dogs froze. Then they raced up the long tunnel. There stood Big Bark, covered with fuzz from head to tail. I'm king of the fuzz, he snarled. Do you hear me? I'm king of the... Swoop. The sky went dark. What happened? Where's Big Bark? Look. There he was, high above their heads, dangling from the talons of an eagle. No more Big Bark, the crowd cheered. Yay, yay! Don't yay! He's one of us, yelled Pip. We have to save him. How would you like to be in an eagle's lunch? No, the crowd yelled. They have to save Big Bark. Big Bark wriggled free. The prairie dog shouted, "Shake loose! Hurry, hurry, we'll catch you!" Big Bark twisted and he turned and he wormed and he squirmed. At last he was free of the fuzz. Yay! The crowd roared. Big Bark fell faster and faster. No! The prairie dogs scattered. Get back here, yelled Pip. Quick! We have to make a circle. Hold out your paws. They ran left, then right, then left. Sometimes the pages stick together. And plop. You saved me, Big Bark cried. But I stole your fuzz. Now it's gone forever. Good, said Pipsqueak. Fuzz is trouble, right? Yay, the crowd cheered. Friend hugged friend, cousin hugged cousin, dog hugged dog. We don't need fuzz, said Pip. But with eagles around, we do need a watchdog with a big bark. Big Bark rose up on his hind legs. Eagle's back. Bark! Bark! This is not a test. Bark! All dogs below. They all went. The prairie dogs raced down, 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 down the long tunnel. There they all go. Whew. We made it. That was close. 3 cheers for Big Bark, the best watchdog ever. Hip, yip, yay! Yip, yip, yay! Yip, yip, yay! Just doing my job, Big Bark smiled. Are we ever going to get tangled up with Fuzz again? Cried Pipsqueak. No! The crowd yelled. No more Fuzz! No more Fuzz! And from that day forward, the prairie dogs lived happily and fuzzlessly ever after. And you may think that's the end of the story, but now I want you to think about, talk about, write about what happens next. Bark George by Jules Pfeiffer. I hope you enjoy this book. George's mother said, she's a big long dog, "Bark, George." And George went, meow. No, George, said George's mother. Cats go meow, dogs go arf. Now bark, George. And George went quack, quack. No, George, said George's mother. Ducks go quack, quack. Dogs go arf. Now bark, George. And George went oink. No, George, said George's mother. Pigs go oink. Dogs go arf. Look at Mom's face. Now bark, George. And George went moo. So George's mother took George to the vet. I'll soon get to the bottom of this, said the vet. Please bark, George. And George went meow. So the vet put on his rubber glove and he reached deep down inside of George and he pulled out a cat. Bark again, George. And George went quack, quack. And the vet reached deep, deep down inside of George and he pulled out a duck. Bark again, George. And George went oink. The vet reached deep, 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 deep down inside George, and this time he pulled out a pig. Putting on a real long glove here. Bark again, George, and George went moo. And the vet put on his longest latex glove. Then he reached deep, 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 deep down inside of George, and pulled out a cow. Look at George's mother. Bark again, George. And George went, arf! Hey, yay! He's cured. George's mother was so thrilled that she kissed the vet. And then the cat, and the duck, and the pig, and the cow. George has been cured. So on the way home, she wanted to show George off to everyone on the street. So she said, bark, George. And George went, hello.